again, my wonderful student, James Liang, who was a homeschooler with me since he was semi-homeschool and homeschool since 5th grader. Right now, he's a wonderful student in one of the top private school in Houston. And in their wonderful school, they are studying what? They are studying Western civilization. So we are going to use the world history textbook from Harvard and Yale to follow James Liang's private school's Western history and the Western civilization. Last time, he made a presentation on St. Augustine influence on Christianity. Now he's going to talk about Battle of Hastings, William the Conqueror. Why this guy is so important in Western history. And he's going to read one part of this wonderful textbook from Harvard and Yale. Go ahead, James Liang. Again, impress me. Go. Facing the audience.
In 1066, the death of childless Anglo-Saxon ruler Edward the Confessor, so named because of his reputation for pity, occasioned the most important change in English political life. Edward's mother was a Norman, given the Duke of Normandy a hereditary claim to the English throne. Before his death, Edward, who was not a strong ruler, acknowledged the Duke's claim and even directed that his throne be given to William, the renowned Duke of Normandy, but the Anglo-Saxon assembly, which customarily bestowed the royal power, had a mind of its own and vetoed Edward's last wishes, choosing instead Harold Godwinson. This defiant action triggered the swift conquest of England by the powerful Normans. William's forces defeated Harold's army at Hastings on October 14, 1066, within weeks of the invasion. William was crowned King of England in Westminster Abbey, both by right of heritage and by right of conquest. Thereafter, William embarked on a 20-year conquest that eventually made all of England his domain. Even landholder, whether large or small, was henceforth his vassal. Holding land legally as a fief from the kings, William organized his entire army as new English nation. Shrewdly, he established a strong monarchy whose power was not fragmented by independent territorial princes. He kept the Anglo-Saxon tax system and practice of court rights as a flexible form of central control over local lights. And he took care of not to destroy the Anglo-Saxon democratic tradition of frequent pairling, that is, the holding of conferences between the king and lesser powers who had vested interest in royal decisions. The practice of pairling had been initially nurtured by Alfred the Great, a strong and willful king who had forcibly unified England. Alfred cherished the advice of counselors in the making of laws. His example was respected and emulated by Canute, the Dane who restored order and brought unity to England. After the Civil War that engulfed the land during the reign of the incompetent Ethelred II, the new Norman king William, although he thoroughly subjected this noble vassal to the crown, maintained the tradition of paroling by consulting with them regularly about decisions of state. The result was a unique blending of the one and the many, a balance between monarchical and parliamentary elements that has ever since been a feature of English government, although the English Parliament as we know it today did not formally develop as an institution until the late 13th century. For administration and taxation purposes, William commissioned a country-by-country survey of his new realm, a detailed accounting known as the Domesday Book. The title of the book may reflect the thoroughness and finality of the survey, as none would escape the doomsday judgment of God, so none was overlooked by William's ancestors. Thank you for listening to my presentation.